Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. So today I will be talking about our midterm report about game design. Our game was about Elden Ring: The Lost City. The group consists of me, myself, Marcellino, and there is Kelvin and Jennifer. Now we will begin with mechanic of Elden Ring: The Lost City. Elden Ring: The Lost City is an open-world RPG-based game set in a vast open world where players can explore freely. The game world is divided into a normal region with their own various environment that can be explorable and challenging depending on where do you explore it. The environment include of forest, desert, and the lost city itself. In this game, players can customize their own character. Players can create and customize their character by choosing their gender, appearance, and ability, depending on what is your preference. The game will feature various character abilities, each with its own unique play style and its own strength and weakness. There are a few mechanics that are inside of Elden Ring: velocity, such as the first one is combat. Combat in Elden Ring velocity is expected to be similar to previous From Software games, such as Dark Souls, Sekiro, and Bloodborne. Players will engage in a real-time combat with various enemies using a combination of weapon, magic, and special abilities. Weapon types. Elden Ring velocity are made out of total 5 weapons, with each weapon having its own specialty, moveset, and usability, as well as damage output. We will have to choose one out of the 5 weapons that are given to the player when the player creates their character, while the other 4 weapons can be found throughout exploration as the game goes. Here are the list of the weapons that are inside of the game. The first one is the sword. A sword is a soul sword. Sword attack consists of a 5 times swing combo where your character does a 2 horizontal slash and 3 downward slash to the enemy. You can do a dash attack which consists of a 2 hit combo that can send your enemy upward. And lastly, you can charge your sword by holding the attack button. When you do a charger attack, you can do an air slash that can travel through the air at high speed and deal area of effect damage to the enemy. The sword has unique skill of Soul Strider that can be used to either travel through the air or using the sword as a damage dealer area of effect when you release it when you click the unique skill. Unique skill can be found throughout the game. The second one is Chakram. Chakram is a disc that can be throwable as a weapon that can be equipped in both hands. It has two modes, throwing and melee. In throwing, you can throw the chakram to the enemy to deal damage. This attack pattern consists of only 4-time combo move, throwing them repeatedly and catching them back to throw it again. In the melee mode, we can perform a slashing attack up to 6 times slashing the enemy. Chakram has the unique ability of Infinite, where the chakram that has been thrown can bounce from one target to the other target and will go on until there is only one enemy left. Because when the enemy only have one more, which there are not target that can be bounced, the attack will stop automatically. The next one is bow. Ranged weapon that can fire up to 5 consecutive shots. The range depends on how the player aims the bow. The bow has the unique skill of full mark, which will allow the player to hit the enemy from the radius of 15 meters perfectly without aiming for 5 seconds, and increasing the shooting speed. The next one is twin blades, a super close range weapon with low to medium damage output but with a high critical damage output. This weapon allows you to attack at a fast pace, but with a small radius of range. This weapon consists of an 8-time swing combo where you step and slash the enemy. When holding down the attack button, you can perform a charge attack that makes a slash in an X symbol that does high damage output and critical. Twin Blades has the unique ability of Overburst that increases the critical rate of each strike up to 100% for 8 seconds. So in the 8-second limit of time, you can perform any kind of attack with the Twin Blade and get a critical attack. The next one is Gauntlet, a weapon that was created for solely hand-to-hand melee combat. This weapon consists of a 4-hit combo that can be altered depending on the player preference. It can consist of a jab, punch, or also known as strike, hook, and uppercut, which vary on damage and speed of an attack. Meanwhile, charging it will need around 3 seconds to unleash a charge punch to the enemy, dealing attack area of effect damage and knocking back the enemy far away. It has the unique ability of counter, which then allow you to deal 115% damage based on your lost HP and recover 10% based on the damage that you have been dealing to the enemy, while the unique skill ability counter is on effect. Parrying and dodging. Player can parry an attack that was thrown to the from the enemy to the player at the right timing, causing the enemy to lose balance and vulnerable to attack. There is also dodge, which can be used to avoid attack by rolling, giving them a chance to counterattack and catch the enemy off guard to deal more damage from the blind spot. Skill and abilities. The game features various skill and abilities that player can be chosen when you are making your character. There are two types of ability that can be chosen in the early start of the game. The first one is Berserker, which will give the player a HP boost and increase of damage when the HP is low, which only work for weapon. This ability will work mostly when your HP is low, so that you can deal more damage, which is kind of risky. And the next one is Sage, which increases the player Fulgor and the magical capability. By progressing through the game, the player will uncover more magical skill. The Sage also increase in their damage output by using a magical skill, not combined with weapon. The next one is magic. There will be a magic system that will allow players to use various spells to aid them in combat or exploration. The magic system will be based on a resource called Fulgor, which is consumed when casting a spell. Spell types. There are 3 different spell types, including offense, defense, and utility spell. Each spell has its own range, duration, and damage output, and as well usability. The first one is offensive spell. There will be 2 offensive spells, which are Fireball and Lightning. Fireball allow you to shoot off an instant flaming ball to the enemy single unit. Meanwhile, charging it will take around 5 seconds, so that the fireball become big enough to do a burn area of effect damage. On the other hand, lightning allow you to summon thunderbolt from your hand to strike the enemy single unit and stun them. While charging it down will make the lightning spread through the enemy, causing chain area of effect damage and stunning all of the enemy that has been hit for around 2 seconds. The next one is defensive spell. There will be a two defensive spell, which are Magic Shield and Iron Skin. Magic Shield will allow the player to block an attack in the cost of Fulgor. So if you run out of Fulgor, you cannot use this skill. Meanwhile, Iron Skin will increase your defense capability to reduce the damage received by 40% for around 20 seconds. The next one is utility spell. There will be two utility spells which are healing and strengthen. Healing will allow you to heal a significant amount of lost HP with the cooldown of around 20 seconds. Meanwhile, strengthen will give you a power up so to up the player strength so that the player can deal more damage to the enemy for the next 15 seconds, not included with critical. Spell casting. Player can cast spell by equipping a catalyst such as Talisman and Consuming Fulgor. Horseback riding. Player can ride horse in game, allowing for a faster travel of the game world. Horse can be customized and updated as to the player liking and preference, and they can also be used in combat to deal damage or carry on with so that you can travel at a high speed and deal more damage, meanwhile having the efficient ability to dodge the enemy attack with the speed. The next one is exploration. Players are encouraged to do an exploration so that they can discover hidden areas, secret, and loot by exploring the game. The loot consists of a magic scroll that can be used to learn more magic skill, or you can also find the four weapon that has been mentioned from above. Since you only can pick one, and you can find the other four throughout the game. The game features vertical exploration where player can climb and descend to reach new areas. Now that's all for the mechanic. The next one is storyline that will be read by Calvin.
So I will explain about the storyline, the Lost City about Endering. So we have met for the Endering new chapter. The name is the Lost City. Then the boss, the Cursed of Mummy Kings. The player discover a lost city beneath the sand of a vast desert. However, the soon realize that city is cursed by an ancient Mummy King who seek to rise again. Conquer the world. The player must explore the city and uncover its secret, including the location of powerful artifacts that can help defeat a Mummy King. Along the way, the player will encounter a variety of dangerous enemies, including cursed creature and undead guardian. To succeed, the player must use their skill and wit to navigate this ruin effort that retrieve and defeat the Mummy King and his army of undead followers. So in here we have map for the five edge of the entering the lost city. The H1 the discovery. So in here the player character discover a hidden entrance to a lost city beneath the sand of a vast desert. As the player explore the city, they encounter mysterious trap and sign. The player discover that the city was once ruled by a powerful queen who disappeared mysterious. The player also learns that city is cursed and that the curse is slowly spreading beyond the city walls. Then H2 is the corruption. The player discovers that the curse is caused by powerful artifact that was stolen from the city queen before her disperse. The player must track down the artifact and retrieve it, battling dangerous creature and trap along the way. Once the artifact is retrieved, the player learns that it has been corrupted by dark magic and must find it and find a way to purify it. Then the H3, betrayer. The player discovers that a group of treasure hunter has also entered the city seeking to steal the artifact and use its power for their own purpose. The player must race against time to stop the treasure hunter before they can escape with the corrupted artifact. The player also discovered that one of their own companions has been secretly worked with the treasure hunter and must confront them. And the fourth is the restoration. The player purifies the artifact and discovers that it's a powerful magical artifact that can restore the lost magic is. So the player must use the artifact to repair the city structure and protect it from the curse that still threatening to spread. The players also discovered that the queen distress was caused by a powerful enemy who seek to destroy the city and all who inhabit it. Then the last is the Aspire the Aftermath. So the player is confront the enemy and battles them in a final epic final showdown. The player save the city and restore it to its former glory. The player discover the truth behind the queen's disappears and unlock powerful secret about the city ancient past.
Aesthetic during the lost city. The first is mysterious and eerie. The lost city is shrouded in mist and surrounded by dense forests. The city is abandoned, buildings are overgrown with vegetation, and its streets are filled with rubble and debris. The atmosphere is mysterious and eerie, with an overall sense of decay and abandonment. Next is Gothic architecture. Despite the city's state of disrepair, its buildings feature impressive Gothic architecture. The player character must navigate through towering cathedrals, ornate palaces, and intricate fortresses to reach the city's inner sanctum. The next is carved creatures. The creatures that now inhabit the city have been corrupted by dark magic, and their appearance reflects this. The player will encounter grotesque and mutated versions of once familiar animals, such as wolf with tentacles, bird with razor-sharp beaks, and spider with human face. Next is ancient ruins. As the player explores the city, they will discover that it was once a thriving metropolis, filled with art, music, and culture. However, the player will also find ancient ruins and relics of a civilization long gone. These ruins will hint at the city's ancient past and the force that brought about its downfall. Last is light and darkness. The lost city features a play on light and darkness. The city is shrouded in mist and shadow, but there are also areas where the player can use light to their advantage. These areas will reveal hidden paths, unlock secrets, and reveal the true nature of the city's corruption. The light and the dark. Okay, next, Teknologi Game Entering the Lost City. The first about platform. This game can be played using macOS, Windows, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series XS. Next is Game Engine. A game engine is software that provides the core functionality needed to build and run a game. Engine like Unity would be suitable for creating a game like Entering the Lost City. It provides a variety of features such as rendering, physics, and animation tools that are essential for game development. Last about programming language, to create the game logic and mechanics, you would need to use programming language such as C++, C Sharp, or Python. These languages are commonly used in game development and provide the functionality needed to create complex game systems.